Well, good morning, everybody in YouTube land. This is Rockin' Spirit, aka Jen, coming to you live from my car. You probably ask, why the car? Well, I'll tell you what, it is the most undistracted environment for me. I have a lot of people in my life and pets and just things going in and out. And in order to get an environment that is not distracting or distracting to you, I shoot from my car. Because I'm in it quite often, because I always have a lot of things that I'm doing. Anyway, I'm coming to you this morning about, it's a topic I kind of touched on in one of the past videos. It's about not sweating the small stuff. And this is just for a relationship dynamic. Could be with your children, could be with a teacher, could be with a parent, it could be with a sibling, could be with your spouse, could be with a mate. So basically, it's about looking at the people you interact with love. It's being okay with who they are, allowing them to be who they are in their journey through life and what God is creating in them. So when we look at each other with fondness and thankfulness, being grateful that these people get to join our journey so that we're not alone, because when God created Adam, although it was good, there was a part of it that wasn't good, and that was because he did not have a mate and he was alone. He was with God, but he didn't have somebody in the flesh walking with him. Just like the animals, they had a mate. They had another being to relate with and to have a relationship with. And so God made this for Adam. And it's good for us to be in relationship one with another, no matter what that relationship label is. It could, like I said, it could be brother, sister, aunt, uncle, mom, dad. It could be anybody that you interact with. But what is tragic is when you go through those relationships and you say in your mind and heart that there are things about that person that bother you and really somehow gets into your skin, to the point where you think bad thoughts and you are quick and rash with reactions towards them when they do things that bug you. First thing is self-reflection. Is there anything about you that bugs them? Because really, we're supposed to fix ourselves. We're supposed to evaluate those things that bring offense to other people, that make their world not comfortable, and do the best that we can to sacrifice ourselves in order to please others in a sense. I'm not saying that we should do things that are wrong, but we shouldn't set a brother up to fail. And if it's easy for us to remedy something and say, hey, if I do this in front of this person, it really stresses them, so I'm going to do my best not to do that. That's love. Okay, that is a loving gesture. But when you look at another and you point fingers and you murmur under your breath and you say things about who they are and things that they do, right or wrong, there might not be a right or wrong. It just might be part of their personality. It could be other extenuating circumstances that might make somebody do certain actions that maybe isn't typical for them, but it still really bugs the other person. But just know that God is listening and he is watching. He's watching for those who are faithful, good, kind, and loving, that look like Jesus. He's also looking at those that are hurtful and hateful in their heart. And he is keeping records of everything that's said and done. And you will have to stand and account for it before him one day. And you got to keep this in mind. You got to not take your eyes off of that, because our whole journey here is about that end result. Okay? And people are going to be in for a rude awakening when they stand before the throne. And they are ashamed for the way they behaved and how they made such great things out of such little insignificant things. They were not grateful. They were not thankful in their heart. They weren't appreciating that they were given the life. They didn't create their own life. And God gives you all your positions, okay? He sets you up for where he wants to take you. But he wants you to do the right thing. But he's very patient with us, being weak human beings that we are and forgetful. And we take our mind and our eyes off the ball on a daily basis, but we gotta try to keep that ball in front. Try to keep that end goal, that prize, the prize of heaven and standing before God unashamed, okay? That you did your best and you were thankful and mindful of him and appreciative. Because I can tell you, yes, there are things about people that bother me, and I gotta check my heart and say, but what if? What if I didn't have that person in my life? How much value is it then for me to get ticked off because toilet seat is left up, or they didn't pull their bed sheets up, they just flung them open and jumped out of bed, or they dropped their clothes on the floor? If that person weren't in your life, then what? You would probably wish you could see those clothes on the floor, and wish you could see the toilet seat up, and wish that you could see the sheets folded back in disarray when they got out of bed. You're going to wish you could see all those things, because that means you're not alone and you're living life with somebody. And I'll tell you, you got to keep that before your eyes, because the world would be a lot more empty if they weren't in it. So with that, be happy people. Let people be who they are, and you just try to be the best you can. God bless, and make it a great day.